light shines on, the Spirit helps me guide my way. I know this ain't just me. I walk strong, but this time I won't be afraid. I know this ain't just me. No, this ain't just me.
Hello, fellow travelers. Welcome to Silver Arrow Tarot. It's me, Amanda. Man, I have been really clearing a lot this morning, preparing myself for this reading. This is going to be kind of an unusual, kind of a different reading. Messages from the sea. And what really inspired this, or at least sparked the inspiration, was this deck that I came across. It's called the Seashell Oracle. And I picked it up while I was at the beach. I was in this artist gallery and looking at all these beautiful paintings. And she happened to have this oracle deck. And I was like, I knew immediately that I had to have it. But it also perfectly and beautifully coincides with Cancer season. I hope you're having a beautiful Cancer season. It just feels very right, very appropriate to channel messages from our ocean, our where we came from, the sort of nurturing mother energy of our planet. And I'm just really excited. I want to read this quote for all of you. And it says, it's from a book titled 7 Gothic Tales by Isaac Dinson. And you will probably recognize it. It says, "Do you know a cure for me?" "Why, yes," he said. "I know a cure for everything. Salt water." "Salt water?" I asked him. "Yes," he said. "In one way or another, sweat or tears or the salt sea." And so I anticipate today to be quite healing messages, quite deep as well. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, all relating to the water and are all quite psychic and sensitive. And when I was tuning in, I was asking what messages wanted to come forward, and I heard water connects everything. It mends things and it connects the dots. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to pick all of our piles. There'll be 4 piles to choose from, and I'll be right back. Hello, welcome to your pickup card, and please take a few deep breaths, center yourself, and choose your pile. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Pile 4. See you there. Bye. Welcome, pile 1, to your reading. So we're going to be getting into what messages does the sea want to bring to you today. And I feel, with it being Cancer season, or deeply sensitive, water sign, and coincidentally, so am I. I feel like this is the perfect venue through which I can bring through some hopefully healing guidance for you today. So let's take a look at all of your messages. Your first, well, this is not your first card. I want to start with this one. Sorry, guys. All right. We have defend to the end, the worthwhile, and this card is number 23, and has a beautiful owl and a woman who looks like she has been crying. So we'll see what else wants to come through here. We've got free from judgment, free to love, number 39. So we have 3, 4, 5. We have 5 numerology. We have what is this one? 12. So 3, So 5 and 3. So to me, 5s are about change, radical changes in your life. And we have 3, which is about growth and learning. All right. And one more final card here from the beautiful Sacred Rebels. We have Spirals of Manifestation, number 18, which is 9. Okay. So hopefully you can see those. All right, so the thing that's really striking me, first of all, is this color green. So I do feel like we are definitely talking, Spirit wants to talk about matters of the heart. So your heart chakra corresponds to the green color here. And when I was tapping in at the very beginning, before I turned on the camera, I heard understanding some truths. And I heard aspirations. So this could apply to any area of your life. Please take it how it resonates, take it how it applies. But I do, for some of you, obviously this is going to resonate for a romantic situation or a deep heart connection of some kind in your life. Also feel that this can definitely apply to your passions, your career, your motivations, your creative energy, but definitely has to do with your heart calling, and some deeper truths. So what was very, very interesting here is I'm seeing this sort of like three aspects to yourself. All right, there's this aspect here. There's this aspect here, very valid part of you that has gone through something that has caused you to feel, or is causing you to feel some amount of heartache, sorrow, grief, loss, and I feel like that has caused it's causing some sort of catalytic experience where you're starting to understand what is worthwhile in your life, what is necessary in your life, what is what is of true value to you on a deeper level. Defend to the end the worthwhile. So I feel like through a possible loss or grief experience, you may have gained some higher wisdom or some deeper wisdom about the truth of who you are and what matters most to you. Okay, so there's this aspect of you that feels this, and then there's this aspect of you over here. It says free from judgment, free to love. And I feel like this is sort of like your higher self. This is your like 3D earth human self. This is like the part of you that understands or is looking down on you and isn't in judgment of anything that you've experienced or gone through, or any perceived mistakes that you've made, or losses that you've experienced. This part of you feels very much like you understand, this part of you understands that everything is perfect just the way it is, and that everything that you've experienced or are going through is just right for you, okay? And there's nothing truly at the higher level is quote unquote wrong or bad about you. And you may or may not, to a lesser or more degree, be in touch with this aspect, but I feel like you may at times be able to access this state of consciousness where you don't judge yourself. All right. We have this third card. I feel like this is also another aspect of you that, because if you look at her face, so she's sad. She's quite sad looking, and then she has this sort of peaceful, happy look to her. And then this person kind of just looks very neutral. And this kind of just reminds me of like the observer self, of the part of you that is neither happy nor sad, but is experiencing things from a place of non-judgment, or like not like seeing yourself from a non-dualistic space. Okay? And we have the feathers again in this image. We have the green again in this image. And I feel like spirals of manifestation. There's a message here around the samsara, the wheel, being on the wheel. So this perhaps has to do with karmic situation, or a predestined situation that was agreed upon before birth. There's something that you're going through again and again, or have gone through again and again, either in this life or in other lives, or both. And you're experiencing new, higher levels of wisdom, refinement, healing through going through these layers. Okay? But with the 18, I do want to say that like 9 is the number numerologically of completion. Okay, so you're reaching a state of completion with regards to this, which is good. All right. All right, so I want to move to the Seashell Oracle and show you which card you got. And you have Tide, Presence, Change, and Flow. And I mean, I can't make this up, really. It's kind of perfect and beautiful. I love when the cards just really match up so perfectly. But we have, again, another message here, kind of like the spiral message, that the sea consciousness wants to tell you that there is this transformation happening. Because if you can see, there's this moth or butterfly and the caterpillar, both in the illustration. And to me, that's again talking about this transformational experience that you're going through right now, and that really is reiterated with the 5 here, the 5 numerology. That transformation and change is happening, and to accept that flow of energy throughout in and out of your life. So for example, if someone has left your life, or you had to break up with someone, or you had to change jobs, or you had to move, or you experienced, a death in the family, or something of that nature, like there is this transformational experience on offer for you. And even though that there's pain and there's hurt, Spirit is trying, hopefully, comforting you here and telling you that it is all part of the plan. It's all perfect. I want to say it's not your fault. And it's also catalyzing you, like I said in the beginning, to transform yourself from that caterpillar into that butterfly. And gaining greater levels of wisdom. I think I should have, if I haven't touched on that. There is a lot of messages here with the owl and the numerology that supports this idea of learning and wisdom and growth. Okay, so there really is a lot here for you, a lot of healing here for you. But I definitely think this has a lot to do with karmic situations or past life situations, repeated patterns in your life. Things that come in and go out, come in and go out, come in and go out, just like the tide, just like the ocean. And there's something maybe that could be a bit reassuring to you about that, is that whatever has maybe gone out of your life, like the tide recedes, it will again return. And there is a guarantee in that. There is a universal truth in that cannot be negated. The other thing here, though, and it says presence, and so there is a strong message here about alchemy and transmuting emotion, being present with your very human, very, very real, very valid experiences, in a state of non-judgment, in a state of peace, in a state of acceptance and love for yourself and all that is, and all that has transpired. And that you can alchemize this experience back into love for yourself, love for humanity, love for others. With this owl, again, and all these feathers, it just really speaks to me about this experience being for your higher benefit, because you're getting an extremely, you're getting such an upgrade, is what I want to say. And there was something else I wanted to mention here. It'll come to me. Anyway. So, oh, right. Okay. So there's like, there's something that you're aspiring towards. Okay. I was picking that up in the channeled part. And so this card came out, Capricorn, and it says ambition, realism, and methodical steps. And it's really funny. I really love Capricorn because I feel like Capricorn is so misunderstood. And it's an earth sign, but it is represented by the sea goat. And I think a lot of people forget that it is not just a goat, but a sea goat. And so there is a nod again to the sea here, which I absolutely love. Which to me tells me that Capricorn can go very, very deep. And it is a very deeply emotional sign. I think it gets a bad rap for being maybe on the colder side, or because it's such an ambitious sign or energy that it doesn't have a lot of feeling. And I don't think that's true. I think that because the Capricorn energy is such a feeling sign, it is an ambitious sign because of that reason. But I really wanted to touch on this idea of realism with this card. Because I feel that there's this purification energy which you must go through with regards to your emotions, with regards to your heart, to feel what is really real for you is the way forward, is the only way that you are really going to find your truth to move forward in a real way that is aligned, and you can actually make progress. If we don't know the truth of how we actually feel, it's kind of like trying to navigate being in a forest without any kind of a map or any kind of a GPS. We need to know the truth of how we feel in order to move in the right direction. So I was inspired to write a few questions here. What is real about me, and what do I know to be true? And I feel that you are working through that with regards to this experience. This experience, or whatever you're going through at this time, or whatever you've gone through, is causing you to really question the deep, deep callings of your heart, the truth of your heart. And being able to tap into that to make practical steps towards your ambitions, towards your goals, towards your aspirations, whether they be personal aspirations like finding a long-term partner or more career-oriented aspirations or ambitions. So there's a message here also of just accepting that things take time, because Capricorn is an earth sign. It takes time to manifest things. It takes time to get to where we want to be, and nothing is really going wrong here. Okay? Wherever you are at this time, do your best to relax into the knowing that it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the experience that is necessary for you to get to where you want to go. And finding time to be present with yourself and present in the moment, and just enjoying the journey as much as you can while you're here. So the other card that came out was Leo. And Leo is about self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity here, which to me is kind of perfect with this, because Leo is connected with the heart chakra, your passion, your heart-centered focus in the world. And there is a message here around building your self-concept up, building your self-worth up. Okay? Building your self-confidence on top of what you know to be true about yourself. That's a really powerful message. It's coming through, okay? Building your self-confidence and your self-concept on what is true about you. And the only way, like I said, to know what is true is to be connected to the heart and allow yourself to feel the grief, the sadness, the loss, all of it. It's all beautiful. It's all true. Okay? It's what's real about you. If you are sad, that's what's real about you. I think that this pile, it is possible, take it as it resonates, but this pile may have been somewhat, maybe you've dabbled a little bit too much in the spiritual side of things that is very, very detached from reality. I know that sounds a little harsh, but like the kind of spiritual teachings that teach, to just, that you don't need anybody, that you create your own reality, and and all of those things can be very helpful and beneficial, and I'm not knocking them, but I think it can also be really a way to skip out on feeling our truth, feeling our reality, feeling what's real for us. and not allowing ourselves to sink into the depth and spend time with those parts of us that don't feel like, everything's working out for us in our favor and all those things. Okay. So your final card is Tehuti Akashic Record, and it says it's number 43, which is 7, which is my number of like good luck, but also like wisdom, spiritual attainment, knowledge, like the hermit. I kind of associate those things. So I want to read this because I feel like it's really, really, really good. Okay. I want to read from the book here. It's short. It says, depicted with its head of an ibis bird, Tehuti himself has a strong sense of cosmic humor, despite being the god of magic, wisdom, and alchemy. It was always Tehuti who devised an amazing plan to save all the ancient gods and goddesses in difficult situations. Likewise, as a keeper of your soul, Akashic Records, Tehuti can consult them for clear insight and then clear them if needed through the benevolence of Aset and Mat and the karmic release process. So, whether you resonate with Egyptian gods and goddesses, not really too important here. The main message is that, like I said, there's something to do with karmic situations for you here, and to not beat yourself up for repeating scenarios, or to not take personally this sense of loss, or like you somehow caused it. There's like also a lot of that like within the manifestation communities, self-help communities. Yes, you can manifest, right? Absolutely, not denying that, but like also there are certain situations which we karmically or spiritually agreed to, contracts, whatever, and they had to play out. They had to play out for you to experience have a certain experience. And it wasn't necessarily that you like were focusing negatively, or you like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't necessarily cause it in this lifetime. It was something bigger than that. It's something deeper than that. With this Akashic Records card, it's something much, much deeper than that you are going through or have gone through with regards to your heart, with regards to your ambitions in life. Okay? So I just want to, hopefully this helps you feel a little bit relieved. And it also says here, I am Thoth or Tehuti, known as Hermes, the thrice born. Invoke me in to see your Akashic Records, for here, this is where your block is. I can assist you to release the karma now by your quest. I am Time Lord, keeper of your soul records, and I saw you as you were judged in the ancient days. Now I hand this role back to you, for humanity must be responsible for themselves with just some small assistance from above. And then it says here for future, it has a bunch of different ones, but I'm going to read the future one because I feel like that's the most important. It says, your past has created your present, but you now have the chance to change and greatly improve your future by meditation, your actions, and alchemy. Right, so your actions, meditation, and alchemy. So meditation with your emotions, being present with yourself in non-judgment, asking, whatever you believe in, angels, guides, the universe, to help you to clear out, to release any past life karma, contracts, anything that is no longer relevant. Okay, you've already experienced the thing. That's clear. You've already experienced the thing. We don't need to do it again. So ask for help, ask for higher guidance, okay? And be present with whatever's coming up, because that's all that was really needed, was to trigger that experience of that feeling state. And now you can just accept, process, and move through it. And it can be part of your past. It can be something that you don't have to go through again. You agreed to it. You experienced it, right? We don't have to go through it again. We've got the wisdom we need out of it, okay? Yeah, so that's sort of, I think the only final message that I have here for you guys is the back of the deck here. It says guidance, solitude, and safety. So I think the only thing that you really need at this time is just to find ways to give yourself that safety, that your body now feels safe enough to feel, okay? To feel safe enough to let go, to release, to feel it, to process it, feel it fully. Because all it really takes is for you to be able to drop down into it fully and move completely through and out the other end. And that's kind of like, to me, I think the biggest block whenever I'm processing stuff is just having that safety within myself to feel like I feel safe enough to process it. I feel like I have enough time, enough space, the right people around me, whatever it is, to be able to feel it and let it go, feel it all, and then it's processed, it's out. So if you don't have those kind of like safe people or safe spaces, or your environment isn't conducive, try to find small ways to find that in your reality. Like maybe you need to go to the park and sit under a tree, or maybe you need to find a therapist, or maybe you need to ask your friend for permission to talk about something. And if that's, if they feel like capable of being there for you or whatever, like however that might best work in your life. Okay? So that was your messages from the sea. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Please make sure to give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Hello, beautiful pile 2. Welcome to your reading. We are going to be getting into what messages we have from you from the sea. So messages from the sea. And if you skipped the intro, I am using this seashell oracle was the inspiration, and this quote about the cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. So, famous quote. And there's some deep wisdom coming through, so I hope you enjoy. And we're going to get started. So let's take a look at your first couple cards here. The first one that came out was Shock of the New, number 6. So number 6, numerology. Home and family, stability, nurturing, and harmony. We have Restore and Replenish, number 38, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 or 2 numerology. And when these two cards came out, I initially was like not really sure what's going on here, because I kind of felt like this should be over here. But as I was looking at it, it's telling me that the message has to do with some new, you've reached a new level, you've reached a new experience, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, but it might feel jarring, or it might feel a little bit unfamiliar or strange. And I heard naked here, and it's like with this naked person in the card, and it's almost like I was getting like this kind of like somatic like shaking. It's almost like you're needing actually to release now that you're in this new space. Now that you've reached this new plateau, this new level, this beautiful new level that is filled with harmony, filled with nurturing, filled with things that you've always wanted to manifest for yourself. It's a new paradigm, and the universe actually wants to come in and bless you. But first, it's almost as if you need to take a moment to restore and replenish your body through allowing yourself to absorb this new feeling, this new state of being that is so out of the ordinary from what you've so far in your life maybe have experienced, or after a time of hardship, you're now in a space that you are safe and you are taken care of, and it's going to be much easier. It's an easier, softer phase of life. Okay. There is also another message here about hearing things differently. Like, I'm hearing like either it's time for you to listen to new kinds of music. It's time for you to level up with regards to like what you're listening to. Maybe just anything auditory, but like new music. But also you're hearing like maybe the same music, but through new eyes, or through new ears rather. It's like something that may have triggered you in the past, a song or something, no longer does. Or you're listening to lyrics and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that song meant that, or I didn't realize this about, this person. Or maybe you're just hearing things without this like lens of like old trauma. So that was another message that I was getting through here. And so yeah, I think that, like I said, you need to allow yourself to like maybe shake out somatically stuff that's stuck in your nervous system. There's lots of things probably you could find on YouTube or different practices. I have been working with a somatic therapist, and she showed me different ways that we should, practice moving our bodies. Like if you've been in fight mode, then she says that it's time to allow your body to ooze. So you just slowly move your body and make it very soft and slow and very graceful, and then maybe if you've been in freeze, you do like a shaking energy and shake it out, things like that. So that's another message. And so actually overall it feels like things are moving up, or have leveled up in a good way. So Spirit also wants to talk to you here with these two cards, and these are from the Seashell Oracle, which was what inspired this reading. And you got sand, and it says infinity, grit, shifts, and it says your other card is nautilus, perfection, spirals, and growth. And Spirit would not let me move on for the longest time before I could shuffle the other deck was not shuffling, because I have several decks here, until I got I was missing some of the wisdom here. The obvious message that's coming forward, most obvious one, is I feel like you've been through a period of hardship. So you have grit. You have made the shift. You have gone through the hardship. It looks like a very deserty, like sand can be obviously at a beach, but it also can be at a desert, right? So desert to me is like kind of this hardship energy. And what's so interesting to me is both of these cards have a flower, a single flower. And they're probably not the same flower, but just generally speaking, they look very, very similar, right? They're both kind of pinkish red. They have a yellow center to them. So that made me really feel like you are the flower, and you were in this very difficult environment, very hard to thrive, just kind of survival energy. And then, you moved into this space here. It's very much a different energy. This plant can grow inside of this shell, and it's very nurtured and protected and healthy, right? So you haven't changed, but your environment has. And you have withstood the storm. The bottom of the deck here is after the storm. You've weathered the storm, whatever it was, in your life, and now you're now into this expanded place, because this card talks about spirals, perfection, and growth. So you've really grown into a totally new space, a totally new person. And first of all, they want to congratulate you on that, and they're validating that, yes, you have shifted. You have shifted timelines. You've shifted emotional blockages. You've shifted your perspective. You're now manifesting differently. The universe is now putting you into a different space of growth, of learning. It's a different level, new lessons to be learned, new experiences to be had. And you've cultivated this resilience. Okay? And they're really, really proud of you. You are a resilient person. And that's a big part of this message, okay? So, like I said, that there's this message coming forward with this card. Also, around endurance and timelessness, because sand also speaks to me about like timelessness, or long spans of time. And this card came out, Saturn, and it says feels restricted, experience struggle, learn hard work and patience. So Saturn is like the planet of hard lessons. And not super long, like kind of like it's like we have our Saturn return, like our first Saturn return, like when we're 27, 28, 29, right? So it speaks to, pretty big chunks of our lives. We usually have about 3 Saturn returns, if we're lucky. So maybe you did go through your Saturn return recently, or you've come out of it. That could be for some of you, right? So Spirit wants me to tell you this, that things are different now, and your main job is to allow yourself to sink into it. Sink into this new experience. Allow yourself to fully embrace it. Feel it somatically in your body. Anchor into this new reality. Don't just flit along worrying that there's going to be some other shoe that drops. Okay? Really give yourself permission to experience this new paradigm. And to pat yourself on the back for all the hard work that you did do to get here. You did work really, really hard. You did experience a lot of struggle and restriction, like living in the desert. But it's over now. And it's funny that these colosseums, these columns that look like Roman columns or whatever, or ruins, are in both backgrounds of these cards. So yeah, it again it speaks to long spans of time. Things happening, being built over time. Wisdom being acquired over time. And you have, and now you get to reap the rewards of this wisdom. And the reason I know that is because on the bottom of your card decks here, you have Murex, power, luxury, and effort, and House 9, spiritual growth. So you have experienced a lot of spiritual growth, and the universe wants to, with this card I'm hearing, the universe wants to bless you. Like I said, they really want to bless you. And so the only thing really for you to do is to allow yourself to receive that in the form of allowing yourself to actually feel it, like in your cells, that you are protected and blessed. And you might feel this bit of doubt, because when we go through trauma, it's always hard to trust that things are going to be good if it's been bad for a while, or maybe it's been bad our whole lives. But I really think that this is all about you just hopefully getting that affirmation that it is okay. It is okay now. And again, our final card we have for you is Horus, slow victory. And it has the number 15, which reduces to 6. So we're coming back full circle here in the message for you, which is all about harmony, family, stability, domestic happiness. Like if you've had difficulties with your family, then either those things are resolving themselves, or you've found a new family, found family, chosen family. And like it says here, slow victory. The final message that I feel that Spirit wants to convey here is that the patience that you acquired through going through whatever you've been through the patience to live in these like desert-like conditions for long periods of time, maybe with very little concrete evidence that that metaphor of wandering through the desert, right? The biblical story of wandering through the desert and having faith that you're going to be led out of it, out of the difficulty, out of the strife. Spirit wants me to tell you to remember this. Remember the patience that you learn how to cultivate during this time. It's the only thing you need to take from the past. That's it. Just remember your resiliency and that you did it, you got through it. And that if anything comes up in the future, you have this to fall back on. You have this part of you that is resilient. It's not going anywhere. Okay? Remember, don't forget it, and don't forget how to use it. Is what they want me to tell you. Okay? That is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you did enjoy this reading, I do have personal readings available for purchase. And please consider supporting the channel in all ways, either my Etsy shop or giving it a thumbs up or subscribe. And I'll see you again soon. Bye. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. This has been so fun so far. So I'm really excited to get these messages channeled from the sea, okay? And I'm using this, if you didn't watch the intro, the seashell oracle was what inspired me when I went to visit the beach, and I came across this beautiful deck in a gift shop art gallery, and I just wanted to quickly read this quote as well. Okay, the cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. And I also quoted that in the intro. Very, very famous quote, obviously. But it really, I think, kind of encapsulates the energy we're tapping into. All right, beautiful pile 3, we're going to get into it. So we have the first card. And it says, Seeing the True You, number 29. And then we have this beautiful card, Heaven Sent, number 33. So we have Master number 33 here. And we have this card, which reduces to 11. So we have 2 Master numbers. Really, really powerful energies right off the bat. So Master numbers are really rare and very powerful. Numerology. 33 to me is associated with the master teacher Jesus, and number 11, also a very strong number about a spiritual purpose, a spiritual destiny that you have. Okay, so there's an interesting message coming through here. I heard knowing what you see. And this whole message is that this whole reading is going to definitely keep circling back to sight, to your third eye, to your the way you perceive things. So I'm seeing this this card as like a portal or a mirror, because she's gazing into her reflection here. Her eyes are closed. She's using her inner sight to meditate. But I really, really feel, the first thing that I was just really feeling strongly for this pile is the message that you may still struggle, or it's part of your life purpose or plan right now. One of your things that you are continually healing and working on is to see yourself accurately, and to continue to peel off the layers imposed upon you by society, by maybe your childhood upbringing, the people that mirrored to you who you were. And so meditation is definitely strongly suggested for this pile. But the sea wants me to tell you that the message is to start to keep working on seeing yourself accurately. Keep working on seeing the truth of yourself. Because I feel like with these master numbers, I don't think that many can accurately reflect you. I don't think that many people are at a level where they can see your greatness and your brightness, because not many are where you are, or not many are going to even be headed where you're going. You are a master teacher, okay? That's the message of this reading. You are a master teacher. And part of the reason that I know this is because I keep being drawn to the carving on this chair here. It just keeps drawing my eye back and back and back to it. You have been honing your skills for lifetimes. It takes patience, dedication, hard work, practice, skill, and you have been doing this multiple lifetimes. You have been honing and honing and honing your skills as a soul, as a being of light. And I think that it's hard coming down into a human body, being squeezed into this tiny little human body, being plopped onto this planet with 8 billion other people in this density, in this difficulty. And so much trauma and chaos surrounds us, so much beauty also surrounds us. But I think it's hard. That's why it's one of the hardest planets to incarnate on, is to be here. And I think that you may still carry some doubts. I think the water continues to need to be cleared, so you can continue to see yourself in your fullness, your wholeness, your brilliance. I want you to trust your own spirit, wants you to trust your own goodness, your own benevolence is what I'm hearing, your own softness, your own inherent worthiness. But it's more than that. It's this sweetness. It's this authenticity, this of your genuine kindness, your genuine wish to be a good person, a good human, but just even more than that. You're just someone who, I just think that it's hard to be this kind of person on planet Earth because people don't trust it. People do not trust that people are this kind of good person. Like, that doesn't exist. I don't often listen. I'm trying to wean myself off of social media, TikTok and all that, but I did see something that I felt was pretty resonant, talking about how this girl was like, I didn't realize that other people were not like trying to be a good person, out there trying to live by integrity and live by morals and live by like this code, because we're always, when we're little, we're taught, be kind to others, do unto others what, all of that stuff, right? And it's like, it was a rude awakening to her that's like, oh, nobody really does that. Like, I'm out here trying my 110%. And it's like, nobody really thinks that anyone is really like that good at a core level. It's like, there's always some inherent, like, I, me, mine, I'm out for something. Energy behind it. There's a lot of distrust. And so I think that you may still carry a little seed of that mistrust within yourself. Like, am I really who I think I am? Are my intentions that pure? I wrote down here, gaslit by society. So yeah, I think that we are often gaslit by society, to feel a sense of shame for just being good, just being a good person, and wanting the best for everyone, and wanting to live by a high set of standards and integrity, because it actually triggers people. It actually kind of triggers people because they don't want to see that goodness reflect, like, because it's like, oh, well, it brings up all of that shame in them. Like, I'd rather be around people that are doing shady things, because then I can feel good in comparison. But if I'm faced up against someone who really has high standards, man, then I've got to look at myself, right? Where maybe I'm falling short of that. And if I just tell myself, well, no one's like that, then I don't have to work for it. I don't have to try to be better. My mediocrity is good enough. I hope that makes sense. So that's the big message there, I think, is continuing to deepen into yourself, have deep trust within yourself, that you are working from the light, and continuing to know that you can connect to these higher parts of yourself that are like very ascended and very evolved. You're not crazy for that. All right. We have Scalp for your next message here. Okay. And it says sight, wayfinding, and journeys. So more messages about sight. Okay. And the spiritual kind of path, or the spiritual kind of journey that you are on. I'm going to read the book here. It's very short. Very, very short. So just give me a second to find it. There we go. Okay. And it says, the scallop shell rimmed with hundreds of bright blue eyes was an emblem of medieval pilgrims collected to mark the end of a journey. The paths are many. Are you on the right track? So, to me, this just is kind of like confirming that you've taken many journeys, many lifetimes. You've taken many paths down and up to gain all this wisdom as a soul. And it's like, I'm seeing like you've been down all the wrong paths, or maybe not even the wrong paths, but it's just like all that saying, like, all roads lead to Rome. So no matter how many paths you've taken over how many lifetimes, it's like you realize it as a soul. It's like, oh, I always come back to the same place. I always get back here somehow. It's like I could take any number of paths. I'm always going to come back to this truth. I'm always going to come back here to me. Right? To my soul. And my soul is inherently good. And the other message here that I'm getting is seeing yourself as heaven sent. So the other message that I see is that it might be hard for you to see how much benefit you have to others, or how much positive influence you have over others. I feel like you have, in the past, you may have not been, like I said, you haven't been around the right people. You haven't been reflected by the people who can actually see you. So the other message is, if you haven't been doing this, then it's time for you to really hone in on finding the people that can actually accurately reflect back to you who you actually are, and see the goodness in you and the rightness in you, and they're not constantly questioning your motives. And start to limit your time around people that don't see the beauty and the truth of you. Okay? And this is really definitely about starting to see yourself accurately. Seeing the real truth of who you are on a deep level. And some people are just not there. They're not there yet, and it's nobody's fault. It's just, everybody's on their different level of journey. So you have house 4 here. This has been kind of a repeating theme throughout all the readings, is Cancer, the 6th numerology energy. So house 4 relates to Cancer. It says cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. So yeah, like I was saying, it's just like finding your people, finding your family. The bottom of the deck, it says conscious connection. So finding your people, finding your tribe. And I just want to say, if you think you have found your tribe and you're just like, I don't know, continue to evolve too, and reach higher levels for some of you. I have gone through many iterations of, leveling up, like feeling like, okay, these are my people, and then, growing a lot, and then it's like, oh, I don't really feel like this resonates, like I don't fit here. So those cycles do occur, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or they're doing anything wrong. It's just continue to follow the calling of your heart and your truth. Is that it? Okay. So your final card is this card, Quebsnuff. I'm sorry, I'm definitely skewering that, but it's number 29. It says Fire Spirit. Okay, so we have two 29s. 29 coming out again. And again, it goes back to that master number 11. Sorry, had to get a drink here. So master number 11 relates to your life purpose, your destiny, and having a very large destiny, a very, very large life purpose, a big You came here to make a big impact. You did not come here to play small. You are definitely here to influence a lot of people. So you probably most likely have some sort of following, or you have a platform where you reach a lot of people, whether it's you write a book, or you have a YouTube channel, or a podcast, or maybe you're an artist of some kind. Whatever you do, you're meant to reach a lot of people. And Spirit wants to say also that you have been given the energy required or necessary to fulfill this like larger life purpose. Okay, so don't doubt yourself in that regard. Spirit will help keep your energy up and keep your fire, your passion. You have a lot of fire energy for a reason, because you're meant to help a lot of people and have a large impact and a great amount of influence on the world and your community. And just keep seeking out the right people. That's what I'm getting. It keeps coming back to this clear sight thing, like needing to see yourself, needing to be surrounded by the right people who see you for who you actually are. And I just, bottom of the deck here, Taurus, trust, patience, sensuality. To me, this just feels like a big warm hug. I feel like you need this support. It's gonna help you if you feel in any way that you're struggling. This is kind of the answer. Is this really continuing to level up the kind of people you're around and the people that you're connecting with, and not to get discouraged if you're currently not being valued the way that you would like to be. It's not a reflection on you. It's just that the right people need to be found. Okay? I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. If you do need a more personalized reading, please give me a shout, and please consider supporting the channel in any way that you feel called to, visiting my Etsy shop, giving it a like, giving it a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, beautiful pile 4. Welcome to your reading. So I'm really, really, really excited to get into this. It's been really fun messages so far. So yeah, we are talking about today messages from the sea. And I wanted to, before I begin, reiterate the quote here. The cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. And I just felt like this was the perfect energy for Cancer season. I am a Cancer, so I feel very much at home in this watery energy. And I got back from the beach not too long ago, and I picked up this cool deck that I hadn't seen, so it really inspired this reading today. So we're gonna get into it. Let's take a look. All right, 35 conscious connections is your first card here. And we have, what do you feel? What do you feel? All right, so we do have the numerology of number 8 showing up. 5 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have the numerology 9 showing up. So 8, 9. And 8 is about abundance. It's about, either physical abundance or whatever can apply there. It's open to interpretation. You can have abundance in many different forms. In this case, I feel like this message is about the abundance of connections in your life. So that's what I'm seeing. I heard open and thoughts. So I do feel like the message that Spirit wants me to bring through, or the channel message from the sea, is that it might be time to question the validity or accuracy of your thoughts when it comes to conscious connections in your life, or what you believe is possible when it comes to people in your life that you are close to. I feel like you're just about at the end of a cycle here with the 9, the 8 and the 9 showing up. And I'm hearing that you're so close. You're so close. So it's just this one piece regarding your thoughts, but even more, one layer below that, your feelings with regards to people and connections and what is possible. I really feel strongly here. She's looking up at this world, right? She's got the infinite possibilities of the entire globe. It's really about what are you personally needing, wanting, desiring with regard to connections. This might be business connections, might be personal connections, might be familial connections, community, you name it. So I think, first of all, I feel like you need to write, Spirit's telling me like you need to write down what you really want, or ask yourself questions and journal about what, get really intentional about what you specifically want with regards to your connections, your relationships in your life. Because there is a lot of black and white, but there's also a lot of orange. And orange is about desire. It's your sacral chakra. What are you desiring? And I feel like it's possible that you don't believe it's possible, or you've been told that it's not possible, the kind of things that you really desire in a connection. People showing up for you, people being there for you, people, whatever it is. Like, you might have some work to do with regards to believing and feeling that it's possible to have the kind of people in your life. Because this is coming from the ocean. The ocean herself is practically infinite from a human perspective. It's vast. It contains multitudes. The human mind cannot even comprehend the amount of life that's living underneath the surface of the water in the oceans. There's species that have not even been discovered or identified. I feel like that's a message for you guys, is that the things that you are looking for maybe have not even been discovered by science, or, people would look at you and go well, that doesn't, you feel at least that it's far-fetched, it's too far out there, it's out of reach. But the ocean energy is coming and saying, no, there is so much that whatever you desire, I can match you up with that. There's this other message coming through with the koi fish here. She's got this umbrella, but it's not really an umbrella, right? It's one of those paper umbrellas. And then the koi fish is kind of like Asian inspired imagery there. So that might be significant for some of you, but like the orange coming through and the koi fish to me talks about luck. And so for some of you, I think this idea around luck needs to be questioned. That abundance is just about luck. Abundance is not about luck. Abundance is about desire. How strong is your desire? Are you lining up with your desire? Are you closing the loop from wanting to receiving? It's not about luck. Spirit wants me to talk to you about this, okay? Spirit wants me to tell you about receiving. Receiving is at the bottom of the deck here. This is how you close the loop. This is how you complete the cycle. Okay, receiving, allowing yourself to receive. Setting the intention, getting intentional, opening up to the possibility that it's out there if you have decided that's what you want. Are you open though? Are you truly open to receiving what you want? Abundance is not about luck. Okay, Spirit is telling me to speak to you about the ocean currents of the world. Are they random? No, they're not random. They are governed by the cycles. They're governed by the cycles of the moon. We have the moon at the bottom of the deck. They're governed by the ocean, the cooling, the heating and the cooling of the ocean during summer and winter. These currents are not random, right? So too, luck is not random. Spirit wants you to know this, okay? The cycles of the moon can be predicted. High tide and low tide can be predicted. It's about tapping into the cycles. So that's another thing. Are you tapping into your own cycles? Your own cycles of experiences, like having that new, having an experience, wanting a new thing, getting that new experience, experiencing that new thing, having a new experience, having a new desire come up after experiencing that. Okay. So your card from the Seashell Oracle is this beautiful card, Float, and it says resiliency, buoyancy, and drift. And what I'm hearing from this card is that Spirit is saying magnetism. Okay, magnetism. Is your magnet turned on? They want you to ask yourself this. Is your magnet turned on? Because you aren't just floating through the ocean. The ocean currents will take you where you want to go, but you got to tell this. You have to tell Spirit, you have to tell the universe what you want. And I feel like my energy has completely shifted from a lot of the other piles to being very much, strongly talking to you guys as opposed to advising you guys. It's like really impressing upon you this energy, this message. The currents of the ocean are not random. The cycles and seasons are not random. Okay? And then the other message coming from this card is Spirit wants me to ask you, are you light enough to float? Have you released your resistance to floating in the direction of what you want? Are you light enough? And that's about questioning your beliefs, like I said, about luck and receiving and what you're worthy of receiving. Okay, so moving on. Your other cards here, we have conjunction. It says a union, merging, and coming together. Yes, exactly. Couldn't have picked it better myself. The union, merging, and coming together. And we have Aquarius, the water bearer, originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. So guys, I think for many of you who chose this pile, you have very high-minded ideals. You have very original ideas. You're very progressive. You're also very philanthropic and humanitarian. Very high-minded about society and where you want it to go and where you'd like to see humanity head. And like I said, I feel like you may doubt that other people have these thoughts or feelings or wants or desires, and so you don't even allow yourself to believe that you can match up with people that could help you along this path and support and grow this energy and collaborate and work together. Come together with these kind of people. Spirit wants this to happen for you 1,000,000%. But again, how do you truly see the world? And do you believe these people are out there? Do you carry some cynicism about that, about where humanity can head, what we're capable of? It's easy. I'm not, believe me, I understand it's not easy, because look at all of the self-destructive things that humans are doing to each other and the planet. It's very, very easy to get into a mindset of we're on a runaway train to hell, essentially. And it's hard to believe that maybe there's other people out there that want what you want. Spirit actually wants me to tell you that it is true. It does exist. And like I said, go write down exactly the type of person that you would like to meet, so that Spirit can be so you can be very targeted, intentional, and start to call these people in. All right. I've been talking for a long time, so sorry. His voice is getting a little bit hoarse. Your final cards are Hoppy, Water Spirit, number 13, and Tarouette, Pregnancy and Birth. Yeah. So water element is showing up again here for you. Let's move this down. Here we go. So it says, this baboon-headed god is another of the 4 disciplines or disciples of Horus, and represents the need to work energetically and with thought before undertaking any action. Best to prepare your plans and alchemically create change by visualizing it happening first. Yeah. I feel like that was kind of a through line through everybody's reading, is that what makes sense though, right? Because we're working with water, and water is about emotion, and emotion is really the first starting point, right? It's the starting point of any kind of change. We have to work with emotions first. We have to get ourselves in alignment with our emotional state to go where we want to go. If we're fragmented, if we're unsure, if we have a lot of negative beliefs that are causing a lot of negative emotions in our bodies, then it's difficult to go where we want to go. So, like I said, starting working alchemically first, clearing the waters, clearing the emotional waters of the body and visualize where we want to go. So it makes perfect sense. Really couldn't have picked that one better. And I didn't pick it at all. So we have Tarwet, and it says, this is a very ancient hippopotamus goddess and was worshipped as a protective household goddess by many women, especially pregnant ones. There are no temples in her honor, but the great lady was revered, and many statues of her exist in the homes both of wealthy and poor women, where birthing took place in squatting position. Combining the hippopotamus, crocodile, lion in her, she is both powerful and destructive to any enemies, as well as a sweet and loving mother. It says, my words are few, for my wisdom comes from my presence, my strength, and my silent energy. I can ward off bad spirits and destroy your enemies, but then I was often needed so ancient mothers could give birth. See me as your hidden grandmother and spirit, and invoke me when needed. So, this card is to me talking about birthing the new earth, birthing your new reality, birthing your new connections into your life. And protecting them as sacred, as valuable, as worthy. Not just handing them out to anyone. You wouldn't just hand your newborn off to some stranger. Right? You wouldn't just want some random stranger touching your belly while you're pregnant. Boundaries. So protect your dreams, protect your wants, protect your creation, this union that you want to have happen. All right, guys, that's all I'm seeing for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure to give this a like, subscribe. I do have personal readings available if you need those as well, and you can check out my Etsy shop to support the channel. As always, you can do that for free by giving it a like, a thumbs up, and a subscribe or a comment, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.